Welcome into Groomer's Take. Football, Leafs, stupid docu-series, whatever, and Jays. But let's start with the Ryder Cup, and I have it titled here, it was Ryder Cup Domination. That's exactly what it was from start to finish. If you're a gambler and you got the Americans pre-tournament when, that was the best odds, and good for you. I'm just going off by my friends and their conversations, but really when you put these two teams on paper, you're like, the state should run away with it, and they did. I believe it was the most points ever. I watched most of the last day, and really that's all I caught other than highlights. What stood out to me, DJ, oldest guy on Team America, 37 years old. Oldest guy at 37, that makes me feel old, but really DJ's got it. He's going to be playing for years and years to come. I think the States are going to win this tournament maybe for the next 2-3 times. That's how good they are. They're stacked from top to bottom. In Europe, I think they've got to do the change. They got to do the change. They got to get rid of some of the older guys. But who do they have coming up the pipeline? I have no idea. I thought the whole Rory McIlroy thing with his interview on Sunday was a bit odd with the tears and all that. The guy's emotional. Any sports competitor would be emotional. I just didn't take it fully as... he was heartbroken. I think he's very upset with himself that he couldn't perform to the level that he expects. But yeah, it was tough. I'm a Rory fan. I want him to do well, but this tournament just isn't for him. But the States, congratulations. Bryson and Koepka being all pally. That'll last for another couple weeks when they're still celebrating this, but in the end, they're going to end up hating each other. I mean, it's fun on the PGA Tour, yada yada, blah blah, I hate this guy, chirp back and forth, people yell at Brooksy, but it was cool to see all of them get together and really just have a competition for a week, 2 weeks together, I think it was, and perform. So that was cool. Love golf. Can't wait for it to keep rolling. Next, football. Okay, here we go. Let's dive in. We're going to go in order. I didn't watch every game, but thank you to Red Zone. We get all the good stuff. I'm not very happy being a Steeler fan and all that, but let's start all the way back on Thursday. Carolina 24, Houston 9. Houston won that one game. I was very wrong in week 1, but they're bad. They're going to continue to be bad. Didn't watch any of this game, really, just highlights. My phone wanted to tell me that, hey, your number 1 overall pick in fantasy in CMC, Christian McCaffrey, decided to get hurt again with a hamstring, and he's going to be out 4 to 5 weeks. That's just fantastic. But really, I'm impressed with Carolina and what they've been able to do so far. But I'm really happy for Sam Darnold, and he's kind of turned it around now. It's the Jets, man. You just got to get away from the Jets. Anyway, Carolina, good for you. But the takeaway is CMC getting hurt. But now we get to watch Canadian Chuba Hubbard take that backfield for a few weeks. Let's see what he can do. Moving on. Indy 16, Tennessee 25. If you tuned into the Groomers Take picks with Abrielle, I am absolutely starting to fade the Indianapolis Colts. I do like what they have in all facets except their quarterback. And I'm higher on Tennessee than I have been. I think they got off to a slow start. They came back well against Seattle last week. And this week they kind of just won a game at home, and it looked pretty good. Atlanta 17, New York Giants 14. Again, this is a matchup where it's like, okay, who do I have in fantasy? If you're a fan, you're like, okay, but no, people don't want to watch this game. Ultimately, 17-14 is a good score. I had the Giants, didn't work out. I mean, they can't buy one. Both teams are just whatever, right? It's nothing to write home about. LA Chargers, boom! This is a team that we should be talking about. They beat Kansas City 30-24. All right, let's go on this Kansas City side first. Don't worry, it's very weird to see them at the bottom of the standings right now in their division at 1 and 2, and I don't feel that this is something we're going to get used to. I mean, they do have an absolute elite offense. Now it's more, has the defensive side on other teams figured out how to play Mahomes, because he hasn't looked too comfortable so far. The running game has just been okay. I think they're relying heavily on CEH. I thought they'd maybe mix it up a bit more like they did last year, and I could be wrong on that, but just from what I've watched, I've seen, kind of run it more. Their wideouts are fine. Of course, they got all the weapons, but now on their side of the ball in defense, what do they got? The reason they lost that Super Bowl last year is because Tampa's defense played better than theirs. It'll be very interesting. But the Chargers, Herbert, right? That's his name. He looks fantastic. You got guys like that. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams looks phenomenal. I think he's getting Jared Cook involved really well. But really, my guy, even though he's not my guy, Austin Eckler. Absolute beast, workhorse. The Chargers are something to watch this year. It was pretty cool to see. Oh, Cincinnati 24, Pittsburgh 10. Man, no. The thing is, I bet the Steelers under 9.5 wins this year. That was my brain. My heart was saying, oh no, they can do it. They have a wicked defense. They got great weapons on wideout. They got Najee Harris as a running back, but they still have Big Ben. And really, he's just not, he's looking like he's falling apart on the field, and I hate it because when I became a Steelers fan, Big Ben wasn't even the quarterback yet. I think it was a couple of years. I became a fan in like 2003 or something like that because of Jerome Bettis. But this doesn't look good. It looks like a big machine that is just slowly falling apart in front of our eyes, and I'm not going to be the guy to say it, but someone will say it soon. Maybe it's time for something else at quarterback, and that'll be tough. They just don't have it. They don't have the chemistry on offense. They don't click. You put up 10 points. And the other side of the ball, Burrow looked fantastic with his boy Jamar Chase. I mean, that's going to be a 1-2 punch for years to come. Cincinnati wins. Steelers might just be at the bottom of the basement in that division. God, that sucks. Chicago Bears 6, Cleveland 26. I actually took the Bears in this one because I thought, okay, Fields is good and all that. Let's see what they have. The Bears defense is decent. Ultimately, that's an absolutely terrible pick. One, because Cleveland's a lot better than I want to give them credit for because they're in the same division. But they're really good on both sides of the ball. And on that Chicago side, their coach Nagy, how the hell does he still have a job? I mean, it's easy to say it when you hear it from everywhere and you hear it from sportscasters. My favorite show in the world, PTI, Mike Wilbon, just goes crazy about this guy. And how the hell does he have a job? I'm shocked he has a job. I'm shocked their GM still has a job. It is Justin Fields' time, but you can't leave him in to get absolutely destroyed the way he did by that Cleveland defense. It's not going well. I'm really high on Cleveland. I think it's going to be a battle between them and Baltimore in the end to see who can win the division. But that's all I have to say on that. Sticking with that same division, talk about Baltimore 19, Detroit 17. My biggest takeaway from this game is Lamar Jackson is still one of the best weapons in the NFL. He can get it done. But you want to talk about an absolute weapon, Justin Tucker. I believe that's his first name. The kicker for the Baltimore Ravens. 66-yard field goal off the bar and over. I mean, that fires you up no matter who you are. Watching it was great. It was fantastic. But ultimately, it kind of sucks. It takes away because the refs blew the game clock, I think. The game clock was down to 0 well before the ball was snapped. I don't know if the TV one was different from the one in the field, but But Baltimore ekes out a win, and of course this happens to Detroit. I mean, we've been stomping on them for years. They come in, they've shown a lot of real good stuff so far this season, and I thought they really deserved a win there. They did deserve a win, but maybe they're going to be a lot better than I thought. They're clicking. That Swift character, my goodness. New Orleans 28, New England 13. So I did pick New Orleans this week. What I'm worried about now is my preseason bet that they won't make the playoffs. It looks like on the defensive side, they're all there. They're good. On the offensive side, Winston's doing enough. They have, dude's name, the coach, escaping me right now. They have different schemes that they do, throwing in Taysom Hill, Winston, whatever, and getting it done. And then you have that elite player in Alvin Kamara. New Orleans is looking pretty good right now. Maybe that's a bit of a disguise. Maybe New England's not as good as I thought they were going to be. But 28-13 New Orleans. Arizona 31, Jacksonville 19. This was one of my bets of the week. I got lucky on it. It was Arizona -9. I actually took them, but this game was a lot closer than this score. It wasn't until the end of the game where it kind of fell apart for Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to go through a lot more bumps and bruises than I thought they were. But realistically, they're a young-ass team. They have a lot of young players. They have a coach who's amazing in Meyer, but not a lot of fantastic NFL experience in the last, decade or whatever the hell it is. But Arizona's looking good. That NFC West or whatever it is with Seattle, Arizona, San Fran, and the Rams, that's going to be quite the race till the end. I think it's the best division in baseball. But Arizona looked good, and Kyler Murray is doing Kyler Murray things. Washington 21, Buffalo 43. Biggest takeaway from this game is that Buffalo's really good. I think the Steelers just caught them off a week one. It was a defensive game kind of stuff. Buffalo is really good on both sides of the ball. It looks like they're doing a little mix-up with Moss and Singletary in the backfield. I kind of like that, being a Moss owner in my Dynasty League. But then you have Diggs, and Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Washington side of the ball, I like them still. I think they have a lot, but Heineke, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while in Washington. I think Buffalo. This is a gimme game. Talk about a gimme game. Survivor pool this week. I picked the Denver Broncos 26-0 against the Jets. Another situation here where a coach should not be having his future quarterback getting absolutely destroyed the way he is. That Zach Wilson is running around for his life because they don't protect him. He's not getting any options on wide receiver. Their O-line can't block for a running back. It's tough. It's scary. The Jets might not win a game. That's my team to maybe not win a game. It's awful. I'm sorry, Jets fans, but wow, is your team bad. Denver is maybe an ugly 3-0, but hey, 3-0 is 3-0. Don't know who they have next, but hey, keep winning games. I like it. Miami 28, Las Vegas 31. Miami, did a lot better in this game than I thought they would without Tua. Jacoby Brissett looked excellent. From my point of view there, from my take. I think Miami could keep riding with that, but Vegas is a tough team, man. On the defensive side of the ball, they get after you, and it looks like the offense is starting to click a lot more. And when I say offense, I'm morally talking about Henry Ruggs III. He's getting more comfortable. He's making big plays. He's catching the ball, and Waller's going to do Waller things for years and years to come. I'm not fully on the Vegas bandwagon yet of that they're going to be an elite team to watch. I'm not saying they're going to win 11, 12 games right now, but I think they're a tough team to play, and I think traveling to Vegas to play them is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought at the beginning of the season. Seattle Seahawks 17, Minnesota 30. So I'm not high on Minnesota at all, but they've looked pretty good. Cousins has looked okay. I mean, you're still not going to win a playoff game with the guy, I don't think, but Seattle looked awful. Seattle is maybe the worst. No, the Steelers are the worst 1 and 2 team, probably. But Seattle does not look like a very good 1 and 2 team right now. On the defensive side of the ball, they got nothing, man. They got nothing. They don't pressure any quarterback. And Russell Wilson's still kind of running around, for his life. It's tough there. It's tough in Seattle. But Minnie looked good, and this was without Dalvin Cook. Matheson, I believe, is their running back, and he looked like a beast. He looked like a guy that can run through a brick wall. I was pretty impressed with that. So yeah, Minnesota, props to you. I didn't pick you, but maybe I will down the road. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 24, Los Angeles Rams 34. I just talked about how that NFC West is the best division in football, and it's going to be a race. Well, I think the Rams are going to win that race, and I'm getting double my money right now, so I threw some coin on them this morning to win that division. Matthew Stafford finally has just a smorgasbord of weapons, and he's using them all. Him and Cooper Kupp hooking up that way, it's going to be great. I mean, none of these guys are Calvin Johnson from Detroit, back in the day, but it's a very good option all the way around. It looks like Henderson didn't play. Sony Michel looked really, really good, though. And, of course, on the defensive side of the ball for the Rams, they're coming after you. This was the best game of the week. The Bucs looked okay, but, I mean, you saw it on Brady's face. He was like, we're running in. This is a team here. He knows it. We all know it. The Rams are a very good team. And the Rams just pretty much said, we're winning this football game. And they did. Shout out to my broski and the Rams. Green Bay, the Sunday nighter. Green Bay 30, San Fran 28. If there was any other quarterback in the league, I mean, Lamar Jackson did it earlier in the day. But, I mean, I'm watching it. I picked San Fran. I believe Abby did too. But when there's 37 seconds left on the clock, 0 timeouts, maybe they had 1, I don't remember. Maybe there's more than 37, but whatever. Is there any other quarterback? Sure there are. But of course it's Aaron Rodgers to make 2 amazing throws to the best wide receiver in the game, in Adams. To get them in range, get up there, spike the ball, and Crosby hits a field goal. It's 51 yards or whatever. That is a Sunday night football game right there. If you're a Packer fan, your adrenaline's going nuts and you're going to bed happy. As a football fan, I went to bed happy, except for not getting my pick right. That was an unbelievable game. And I'm high on San Fran still. I think they're going to be a very good team. But who the hell's going to win that division? Rams are, obviously. Monday night was a different story. Vegas got this line and this betting line really wrong. I'm glad I jumped on it when it was 3.5 for Dallas. I think it stayed that way all the way to kickoff or something crazy like that because I hammered that line. Dallas is cruising. Dak is on a mission after missing most of last year. This guy is coming out and saying, you talked about me all winter long, yada yada. Well, here I am. This is what I got. And I'm one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And what I love most about all of this is that it's not fully looked at for Zeke to be an absolute beast. Because I'm not saying he's at the top of that mountain, he's going down, but he's getting close to it. But I think Pollard is a great, complementary piece to Zeke. Gives him some rest because Pollard looked really good too. And then you have CeeDee Lamb. This guy's a ball player. Cooper, Cedric Wilson, I want to say. Dallas looked good. And they came after you on the defensive side too. Diggs, I believe, when I was watching the game, that guy was on a mission to just make Jalen Hurts' life miserable. Every wide receiver on that team miserable. I mean, Deontay Smith and Jalen Ryder, let's remember, one of them's a rookie, one of them's a sophomore, and Ryder didn't even play a lot last year. I believe he got injured. And Jalen Hurts, that was his 7th starting game as a quarterback. So I went into that thinking that Dallas was going to run over them, and they did. Dallas is hands down the best team in their division. And I think this year could be the year where maybe they get past a playoff game. I don't know. We'll see. Philly, yeah, they're going to be good, but it ain't this year. I don't think it's going to happen. But it was another great week in football. A lot of great games. And, of course, this is something we're going to try to do every Tuesday. We're going to sit down and we're going to run through every game. And I'm going to try and give you as much take as I can on what I saw. Some of it will be right. And some of it you might think is absolutely wrong. But that's just week 3. We got so many more weeks to go. And I can't wait. Okay, 2 more little tidbits before we get out of here. Should we end it on a high note? Yeah, we should always end it on a high note. This is more of a what the hell are we doing here kind of thing. I can't believe I'm going to watch it, but I am. The Toronto Maple Leafs All or Nothing miniseries on Amazon Prime. So if I go on YouTube, or if I go on Twitch or something like that, every single time it's an ad for this damn series. And it almost embarrasses me at one point during the preview when Keefe is trying to fire the team up, saying, you wanna be the best in the game? Well, this is the time now. And he's got his mask and he's trying to pump the guys up, and it's just like, well, spoiler alert, All or Nothing. It's nothing because they do nothing, and it should be win a round or nothing, not all, because you haven't won a round. Oh, here I go. I'm getting freaking heated up again. I'm getting fired up. This team is going to be, it's not even going to be that great this year. Prove me wrong, please. Tell me the pieces they brought in are going to work, but don't, How? I don't see it. Anyways, that starts like this week, and of course I'm going to watch it because I love them. I'm a fan of it, and behind the scenes looks, whether they're awful or good, it's always fun to see. It's cool to get that behind the scene look. So whatever, I'll watch it. Toronto Blue Jays, half an hour, 6 games to go in the season, 3-pack with the Yankees, and then a 3-pack with Baltimore. I think you got to win all 6 games. This is going to be the toughest one tonight because Ryu's on the hill, and that guy has looked like me in the last month or so. He's back from injury, but still, it hasn't looked good. He's going to be on a short leash tonight. Give me a strong 5. If you're looking good and maybe the Jays are up, maybe give me 6. But depending on the game, this is going to be, it could be a very short leash. But let's go Jays. Let's get into that wild card spot. And they're the most exciting team to watch right now, in my point of view, at least in the Eastern side, Eastern side, American League. Okay, I'm fired up. Let's go watch some Jays. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later. Bye.